Hey, Gobox here. So, the biggest change to the game this year, some good-looking changes, is coming tonight. Or tomorrow morning, depending on when you see this video, but tonight is so. It's going to go live, and we'll talk about it here in a second. 3 a.m. Pacific on Friday, so early in the morning Friday. But gameplay tuning, huge things. So let's go through them all. This update includes adjustments to pitching and hitting based on analytics and community feedback, the perfect 2 combo for them to look at when making these changes. Alright, what are the changes? In multiplayer games, slight increases made to pitch accuracy across all interfaces, including perfect pitching input. Wow. Okay, let's go through this thing before we go to the next stuff. Remember that other than user input, the pitcher's walks per 9 and difficult setting standards remain the biggest factors in overall accuracy. If you get the perfect meter, more often you'll benefit from this update more than somebody who doesn't. Now, perfect accuracy, how are they going to give us feedback? That's to be seen, of course, but I love this. This is something that we asked for. You know, now you'll be able to dot a little bit better. You'll be able to live around the edge of the strike zone instead of somebody being able to like just sit there, center swing, wait for you to mess up because, you know, sometimes pitches are hung even though you don't want them to. That you hit that meter well, but it still hangs just because the pitcher's walks per 9 or just randomness on that one pitch's control. So, kind of cool, really neat. And then if you're a great pitcher, you'll get perfect. We'll see how easy it is to get perfect. If it's like, you know, every other pitch, maybe that's too frequently. Obviously, some people are going to be better at this than others, than timing that up. You know, timing is a user skill. So it's really cool that they are adding more user skill into the game, at least on the pitching side. It was always pretty user skill, you know, pitch mix, kind of being smart about where you're throwing, who you're throwing, what their holes are, determining what kind of batter they are. But now that we have better pitch accuracy, your ability to kind of get there and stay there, that's really neat. Now, of course, you know, we'll have to wait and see how this plays out, and we'll only see that over the next couple days into week and stuff. We'll probably have our opinions on it, but, you know, don't go out there trying to pitch accurately with Nolan Ryan, but you know what? Great overall. So, you're like, well, hitting's already kind of tough, you know, pitch speeds are a little hard, you know, the good okays in the kind of PCI treatment that we've had. Well, they thought the same thing. They also slightly increased the exit velocity in competitive multiplayer. Now, this is multiplayer. It doesn't really say that it affects anything offline, so that's kind of just how we'll take it as competitive multiplayer. So together, the end result should help pitchers hit their spots a little more and get slightly fewer meatballs, while batters don't lose offense overall due to the increased exit velo on balls they put in play. So basically, squared up, you'll get better exit velocity. I hope it's not like, I've seen a lot of good okays. Like I've seen the ball miss the PCI and it go out of the park. I hope that doesn't like, they just like buffed that. Like what we want is that they buff the end result out of a good PCI placement with good timing, right? That's what we want buffed. We don't want like just doing a straight exit velo buff doesn't really solve a lot of the issues. Like people swinging at balls like 8 inches out of the strike zone and being able to hit home runs above their head, that's frustrating, right? All they did was jank their PCI and hit the ball, and because like they just get rewarded for swinging a ball way out of the strike zone, it's a home run. That's happened to me multiple times, and it's frustrating. So a straight exit velo buff, I'm a little concerned that it isn't exactly what we wanted. The issues with the game still, with the hitting, still remain. So I really hope they do kind of figure out a way of making it more like user skill based, where the PCI on the ball is what matter, and if you miss it, you are not going to get good exit velo. And especially, I don't think there should be perfects on balls out of the zone. In my opinion, I don't think that should be a thing, because you're not perfect if you're swinging at a ball wildly out of the zone. All right, so they say, we talked about the 1.0 update, so we won't go there. You can take a look at my last video on the patches. Other gameplay fixes and adjustments. They fixed an issue where an outfielder would not lock in trying to set up for a routine high fly ball, which resulted in usually losing control of the player. Happened to me a lot. And, you know, they had this issue last year. Maybe they put the same code back in this year. I don't know. But that's to be seen how good the lock-ons are going forward, and if that will be an issue, if they've solved it, or if we still have that going forward. So, to be seen. Button accuracy with throw meter turned off was resulting in way too many perfect throws. This has been fixed and adjusted for balance. I think if you have button accuracy with throw meter off, you shouldn't have any perfect throws, right? Those ones that go like directly to the catcher, perfectly at his mitt, right where you're trying to like, you know, throw the guy out at home. It should just be no, right? Because there's no skill there. There's no user skill in online multiplayer. So I don't care about the ratings. Make them good throws, but don't make them perfect, right? Perfect should be going for guys that are actually trying to hit that timing window perfectly. So this has been fixed and adjusted for balance. So that's their button accuracy throw change. Fixed a rare occurrence with button accuracy where the ball would not go to the intended target. This happened to me if you check out my video from earlier today. I think in the first or second inning, I threw the ball to second base with a second baseman standing on it, and the pitcher threw it to the shortstop. I was like, what's going on here, buddy? But looks like they fixed that. Maybe that's that issue, I can see. So you can take a look at my video earlier for that one. When pulling back late on a bunt, bunters are often hit with a ball. I've seen this exploit in years past. Like, I'm surprised this didn't get more spread on the ladder. Somebody was able to do this to me kind of consistently one game, and I'm like, wow, this is the first I've ever seen it, and I've never seen it since. So kind of cool that they were able to adjust the animation times on something that is exploitative, but not like quite out there as much as it could be. So really cool that this was passed along and they were fixing it before it got like bad on the online ladders. Fixed a rare situation where base hits could erroneously be called a fielder's choice. More of a stat change than anything else. Road to the show fixes with UI and miscellaneous road to the show stuff. Don't really they're not like gameplay or anything huge change. You can kind of look at it. I'll include this article in the description, but the biggest changes are the gameplay, obviously, right? The patches, the actual like glitch fixes right here, and then the meta fixes and changes right here. So both of them go hand in hand together to make a great game. Hopefully this does increase the game. Hopefully, I mean, we always have hope, right? It's best to be positive going forward, and it's really cool that they are listening. They did seem to patch what the community was complaining about, but like I said, my only kind of slight reservation here, besides for the other bugs that we've seen, like that I had a ground rule double go for a home run when my opponent just kept rounding the bases. Besides for the other bugs, the exit velocity on balls that are outside the PCI should not be as high as it is right now. But that's my only concern. But what do you guys think? I'm super excited for this patch. This is great. I love it. I love it. I love it. Great job, SDS. We'll see how it plays out IRL. Maybe I'll be eating crow in a day when I just hate it. Or, hopefully it just makes the game better, and that's all we can kind of strive for. So thanks for watching Call to Action. I'll see you tomorrow.